Shabbat Shalom. All across Mitzrayim, all across Egypt, the hail came down. The smallest bits, like little pomegranate seeds, ping pong balls, tennis balls, beach balls, and yoga balls, all raining from the sky. And in each icy orb, there was a fire that burned within. Ice, fire, falling, and all of a sudden, it stops. The people of Egypt and Bnei Israel, they leave their homes, and what is this? What do they see but each of these orbs of ice, from the little pomegranate seeds of hail to the big boulders of icy stone, all of them suspended in the air, all of them frozen in place. And across the sky, a streak of lightning that stays. The rabbis, when they look at our Parsha this week, Parshat Vayera, which is chanted by Margot, the rabbis paint this striking picture, this tableau. In it, they imagine Moses bravely heading out into the hailstorm that is the seventh plague. And the rabbis, they see Moses at this moment as if he's a character in a science fiction movie. Moses amidst the hail, causing it to freeze in place. The lightning and the rain and the hail, all of it frozen in time. Our maftir in the Parsha, Exodus chapter 9, verse 33, starts with Moses walking away from the city of Pharaoh until he reaches the wilderness. And all around him is this chaos and lightning and hail and rain. And once he's outside of the city, we as readers, we see Moshe spread forth his hands in prayer, beseeching God on behalf of all these people, the Egyptians and the Jews. It teaches in our Torah, Vayifrosh kapav el Adonai. He spread forth his hands in prayer to God. Vayachtelu hakolot vehabarad. And it ceased, it stopped, the hail and the lightning. Umatar lo nitach arza. And the rain, it could not pour out onto the ground. Now, we're rational people. We could choose to interpret this section of Torah to mean that the rain and the lightning and the hail stop in the normal way of nature, in the way that we expect it to. Lightning flashes and then it disappears. Rain slows from a downpour to a drizzle and then ceases. But the rabbis of old in the Talmud, in Masechet Brachot 54b, they imagine this moment to be more out of Star Wars or The Matrix. The rabbis see Luke on Dagobah floating the stones into the sky, or Neo waving his hands as the bullets stop and drop, freezing them dead in the air. What do the rabbis teach in the Talmud? They teach that in our world, there are certain stones, certain hailstones, that have remained suspended in the air because of one man. What does it say in the Talmud? It says that these hailstones remain suspended because of Moses. For it is written, "And Moses went out from the city of Pharaoh and spread forth his hands unto the Lord, and the thunder and lightning and hail and rain ceased. The rain did not reach the earth." In this, the rabbis say that Moses' hailstones remain suspended in the air for 41 years until the time of Joshua. And then a different rabbi, a different opinion says, no, Moses' hailstones of the seventh plague, they remain suspended in the air until this very day. Okay, this image of the hailstones hanging in the air, their fire within burning, the ice of all sizes that never completes its fall to earth, it struck me so completely. Is it really possible? Is it really possible to stop something that is in action? Is it possible to stop a thought or a fight, an argument? Is it possible to stop an idea? Is it possible to stop anger? How is it that Moses is able to spread out his hands to God and freeze something in motion? Because how many times have I, as just a regular, flawed, complicated human being, a very ordinary human being, how many times have I said something and wanted to grab it back and been unable to change those words that my own brain thought of? How many times have I acted in a certain way without thinking through how my actions would land or how they would impact others? How many times have I gotten so worked up, so sure of my own clarity, my own truth, my own righteousness, that I could not make space for someone else's pain or someone else's idea? How many times have I plowed on ahead with a plan or a project or an argument, determined to have my way, like hailstones falling to the earth? Nothing could stop me. And I'm probably not alone, probably not alone. Probably many of us have had these experiences where we are in motion, like Newton taught, and there is nothing that can stop us. Once we get going as people, our egos, our anger, our anxieties, they roll together into a perfect snowball or hailstone, seemingly impossible to stop. And yet, what does our Torah teach us? It teaches us that Moses is able to do that Moses is able to spread out his hands in prayer and apply the brakes. The Mei HaShiloach, a rabbi who lived in Poland in the 1800s, he interpreted this plague of hail to be about our own haughtiness. Well, it's not really hail. It's haughtiness. Our own extreme sense of what is right and correct. The Mei HaShiloach invites us to stand like Moses, to walk out into the hail, into the storm, and to make it stop. The Mei HaShiloach says each of us has the ability to apply the brakes to our arguments, to our anger, to our certainty, and to our ego. That's a very lofty thing for him to suggest, but he says that we all have that ability to spread out our hands in prayer and humility and say, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. And in the heat of the moment, God, through the Torah, invites us into this humility, into stopping the weight of our ego, that sense of falling, and to pull it back. Because if the rabbi of the Talmud is correct, the minority opinion, if somewhere in this world there are still these hailstones floating in the air, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a sign for each of us. For each of us, that even though we're not Moses, that we too have the ability to put the brakes, that we too have the ability to live with humility. Shabbat Shalom.